This is where we left off in section 5. You might want to pause and make sure you understand where we're at, and let's finish up. It's more practice of the same thing. If you notice, there's no greatest common factor, but there are 4 terms. So that's where you either split the middle or you factor by grouping. So as I'm looking at this first group, the greatest common factor there is a squared. And what's left over is a plus 2. And if you look at the second pair, greatest common factor there is 5. Left over with a plus 2. And that's how you know you're doing it right, is when what's in the parentheses is exactly the same, so you write that once. And your leftovers is a squared plus 5. That's your final answer. And the more practice you get, the easier it'll be to identify when to do this. And we're going to still do this for the next one. Group the first 2, group the last 2. Greatest common factor in the first 2 is y squared. You're left with x squared plus 3. And you might even use that as a tool, that you understand that if you're doing it correct, you'll be left with x squared plus 3 again. Well, how can you get there? Well, you can factor out a negative 5. Negative 5 times x squared is negative 5x squared. Negative 5 times 3 is negative 15. So you're doing that correctly. So the common, what's inside the parentheses, can be written first, and then your leftovers, y squared minus 5, second. And then just to finish this, I had a feeling this would not be a long. You can group the first 2, group the last 2. Don't let, it's P and Q. GCF is P, left with Q plus 3. And again, I think it's helpful to recognize that you want to get Q plus 3. Well, to fix that is to take out a negative 1. So then your common term is the Q plus 3, and your leftovers are P minus 1. Now, just because I've quickly done these last few examples does not necessarily mean it's easy. I've been doing math, or I've been teaching math for a long time, so please, please, please reach out to me. If you're still confused, jot down a few notes, pause the video, rewatch it. It's only a 3-minute video, and now you're ready for the homework.